All right, here we go, folks. New York City, King of the Realm Cornerstone Tournament for Sorcery the Contested Realm 2025. Thanks for joining us. My name's Julian. I'm at the top of your screen there, in the green and khaki. At the bottom of your screen, my opponent. In the final match, Brent. Good friend, great guy. Both of us playing a Druid. This tournament is brought to us by Action City Comics, a cute and quirky little cyan-colored comic shop on the corner of McCarran Park in Brooklyn. Watching the mulligan right now, Brent is holding in his right hand a Mirror Realm and a Grandmaster Wizard. I also see a Valley of Delight, a Grapple Shot. He's thinking on what to get rid of, so am I. A lot of incredible sorcerers did battle in this room this day at the Cell Theater in Manhattan, but we are the last two standing. You see, Brent got rid of the Grandmaster Wizard and the Mirror Realm there. He has drawn an Evil Presence and a second Valley of Delight to go with a Watchtower, and he's got Pact with the Devil in his hand there, a unique fire card. So he seems set to go. I'm up there thinking, I'll tell you what's in my hand because it's hard to see. I am holding a Minor Explosion and Morgana Le Fay and a Saracen Raiders. I also have a River of Flame, a Bonfire, and a Forge. In this moment, I'm thinking about getting rid of Morgana. I like her as a late game card, and in your opening hand, what ends up happening is you play her. Maybe she gets off one of her 3 spells in her hand, and then your opponent takes her out, and then you end up discarding 2 cards and getting rid of her without ever, getting more value than that. So would almost rather just draw a spell and play it. I'm putting Morgana on the deck there. You can see in the top left near my Druid avatar as we zoom in, there's a little token there. That's a token that has John Cena's face on it. That's a stealth token. One of the prizes for this tournament, incredible prizing, was a pack of novelty tokens in foil. You had John Cena for stealth, Quentin Tarantino for foot soldier, and you'll see in a moment Lance Bass from NSYNC as the Lance tokens. So some good fun. Gotta love the creative people that this game attracts. Alright, it's turn 1. Brent has tapped his Druid to play Valley of Delight. He has declared it a fire site and summoned Tawny, a unique and wise little beast. And I am returning the action. I'm playing a Forge here. I am creating a Lance Bass from NSYNC token. And I summon a Tawny of my own. If you don't have a Tawny of your own, highly recommend giving it a shot. Not only an airborne spellcaster, but cuddly and loves treats. Action back to Brent, tapping to play a Watchtower. So I'm feeling very vindicated here that I decided to move on from Morgana in my opening hand, because her stealth would have been revealed had I played her forward. And there is Evil Presence from Brent for 2. He may summon spirits to affected sites, any of the 4 underneath of my aura, and those spirits will have charge. He's hoping to drop them right on my head and play quickly. I also play a pretty fast deck, so I'm hoping to take the action forward and make Brent wish that he played that, maybe overlapping a couple of his own sites. I mentioned the excellent prizing in this tournament. Both Brent and I are playing with a signed Druid avatar that each of the top 8 in the tournament received. Eric from Action City just knocked the prizing out of the park. A lot of value just for everyone that showed up to play. Everybody got proprietary t-shirts and packs of foil tokens, and also booster packs of cards from the game. It was a really great atmosphere. A lot of people's families dropping by to support him. My second turn here, I'm tapping my Druid to play River of Flame. There it is, Fire Spellcaster Sight. And I'm stepping my Tawny forward, carrying Lance Bass, and passing the turn back to Brent. Brent is tapping his Druid. And a second Valley of Delight. He also declares this a fire site, so now Brent has 2 fire and 1 air sites. He steps his Tawny forward. He's arranging his cards to be nice and neat and level. And you can see my blood pressure and my heart rate have gone down enough for me to regain my senses here. I was so nervous at the start of this game. I've never played in the final of a tournament before for a tabletop card game. I finally have gotten my 4 Cores app out, which is an incredible application made by another awesome member of our community, Mike Herbig. It is a scorekeeping app. It also tracks your threshold. You see I've selected my single fire pip there, but you can select to have all 4 of them or any combination that you're playing. The app also allows you to search the entire rulebook and to search for any card in the game to reference it. It even tells you what the current market value range is on any card. So an incredible tool for all sorcery players. Get the 4 Cores app, and thank you, Mike, for developing that for us. Really helps out with the game. On my 3rd turn, I have played a bonfire, and I have decided to not destroy my Lance Bass. You may destroy all weapons and armor nearby, which means you also may not. And my Tawny's going to cast Firebolts, so there it is. I'm paying 2 to shoot 3 projectiles forward, taking out his Tawny and striking his Druid for 2. My Tawny will also fly forward and strike his sight. We've broken Lance. See you later, buddy. So I struck his Druid for 2 with the Firebolts, his sight for 2 with the added strike damage of the Lance, and my Tawny. And that's a swing of 4. It's a great turn for me. It's a nice start, doing 4 damage on turn 3. It's a fast deck, and I want to stay out in the lead because I know big swings can happen. And here we go, turn 4. Speaking of big swings, Brent plays a lone tower, gains a resource to have 5 for the turn, and plays the Hounds of Onderos. Nowhere is safe from these elite beasts. One of my favorite card art situations in all of sorcery. I've got a foil at home that I really treasure. You do not want to let a Hounds of Onderos just go digging through your yard. You need to deal with them in some way if you can. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad time. They can be really sneaky. Right now, in the moment, in this moment in the video, I'm asking our judge a question. Another awesome resource we have in our community is our head judge, John Trotter. Was also a judge at Gen Con. He's an awesome dude, a great representative of the game, and an encyclopedia of knowledge about the rules of sorcery. He's taught me a whole lot about how to play the game. Right now, he's informing me that the monstrous lion that I just drew cannot be played and then subsequently attack the Hounds of Onderos because the Hounds have airborne. So I think I asked him, a little more discreetly than that, if I could play a minion on the ground and have that minion attack the Hounds. He said, "No way, Jose." Airborne is a really powerful tool. I've made a couple of mono air decks that were entirely airborne, and it can really confuse your opponent's play. Their minions can't attack you on their turn. Sometimes you get extra turns for a minion on the board before they're removed, and you get extra value out of them. So the monstrous lion's not going to cut it. I need another way to get rid of this Hounds of Onderos. I know that it's important. I don't want to take another 4 damage right back next turn. And I've tapped my Tawny to attack the Hounds. And they don't seem to be phased whatsoever. Maybe Tawny was just startled? Maybe she doesn't like dogs? Not sure about that. And I'm playing an arid desert. So I'm taking all the Tawnies off the board. Striking his Tawny for 1, resummoning my Tawny, and then paying 4. Here we go for a great famine. Passing my turn. At the end of my turn, the strongest minion occupying affected sites dies. And that's the Hounds of Onderos, and thank goodness, because I did not want them sticking around and beating me up. That's what happens when a unique aura runs the storehouse dry. So I'm back in a better board state now, for me. Brent's turn. He summoned a Tawny to a Cloud City. I gotta put this out to the community. If you have access to a Cloud City playmat, hook me up. I love that card. It's so beautiful. Brent has sacrificed Tawny to play Pact with the Devil. And that's a big play, Brent. So this card will allow him to draw any 3 cards. He's chosen to draw two spells and a sight. He could have drawn 3 sights, 3 spells. He could have drawn any combination. So he has an influx right now of options and information. Maybe spells, maybe minions. He's going to have a lot more options next turn. He's thinking through it. He has spent 4 of his 5 mana for the turn. And he used Cloud City's ability to fly the city to a nearby void once per turn. And he's passed the turn. So here we go. Turn 5. The score is 20-16. Me to him. We see he's got his evil presence still looming over my side of the board. I've got a great famine right in the middle. And then I've got my Tawny sitting on the arid desert over there facing his lone tower. I've drawn for turn. It's kind of mesmerizing seeing the game from this angle, with this battlefield playmat, all these weapons and corpses everywhere. Not gonna lie, pretty badass. You saw me gesture there to one of Brent's sights. I think I'm trying to remember what he's declared his Valley of Delight to be, and that's because I have just drawn a sinkhole. So I think I'm making plans to do a little site destruction, but first paying 4 to play Saracen Raiders. These exceptional mortals exploit the flanks. They may be cast to any site without enemies, and they've got charge. Kind of makes the 4 for 3 worth it. I'm debating where to play them right now, and I make the good choice. That's a good choice, to play them on his back row there. Then he has to play back toward himself in order to try and remove them. I've hit him for 3, and then we've got Tawny stepping in to add an additional damage, bringing him down to 12. So another swing of 4 in my favor. But wait, there's more. I'm tapping my Druid to play a site. It's going to be that sinkhole, and I'm going to sacrifice this sinkhole to destroy his second Valley of Delight. And in my mind, what I think I'm doing is I think I'm taking out one of his 2 fire threshold. So if he has any more 2 fire threshold cards, like that Pact with the Devil he recently played, he'll have to play another site before that. I'm also thinking, as you see, as my turn expires there, my Tawny suffers the Great Famine, but it keeps the Great Famine alive. One of the reasons that I attacked into the Great Famine with Tawny there. I'm thinking that he might have some really big drops in this deck. Some things that cost 5 or 6. Maybe there's a couple of 6 drops in air that'll really mess you up. And so by using Sinkhole to keep the game cheap and dirty, I'm benefiting my fast and cheap fire deck. Brent is playing another Lone Tower and summoning Tawny very wisely back and away from the famine. And he's got some stuff to deal with here. He's got some Saracen Raiders on his head there. He's down by 8. Brent's looking for a big play. And that evil presence is finally coming in handy. Big plays Brent shall have. He has played 2 Torsehammer Trinkets and a Castle Haunt. That Castle Haunt has charge thanks to Evil Presence and can be cast directly in the face of my Druid. So there you go. Those Taurus Hammer trinkets come back to his hand, but not before Brent swings for 6, bringing the game within 2 on turn 6. That's a big play. I'm less than excited about it. I'm a little biased here. But I think it's okay. If you remember, I was asking the judge a question a couple minutes ago about whether or not a charge minion of 4 power on the ground could attack a Hounds of Andros. It cannot, but it can attack a Castle Haunt, so I think we're about to see the Monstrous Lion. I've drawn a spell for turn. I have tapped to draw a sight. When in doubt, when you're playing sorcery, if you don't need to play a spell that turn, draw a spell, tap to draw a sight. Or rather, I should say, if you don't need to play a sight that turn, consider drawing a spell and tap to drawing a sight to get that value out. There you saw the Monstrous Lion come in. It pounces upon its prey. In this case, its prey was a ghost, and after the ghost and lion fight, they both head to the cemetery. My Saracen Raiders tapped to take another 3 off of Brent's life total. The score is 14-9 on turn 7. Brent taps to play a River of Flame of his own. There's a lot of mirroring going on. 2 Druids slinging fire, so you see a lot of Tawnies. Now we see a couple Rivers of Flame. And Brent pays 2 for Palaberry Bats, 1 for a Taurus Hammer Trinket, and 3 for a Grapple Shot signed by the artist, which almost makes it feel more violent than it even was, but it was pretty violent. He got rid of the Saracen Raiders there for free without, well, for free. He paid for it, but he didn't lose anything doing it, and he's flown his Cloud City forward, passing his turn. Now his Palaberry Bats are in attack position. His Tawny is forward. He's walked it forward after having to play it on his back row. It is 14-9. I'm up 5, but I know he has 2 Taurus Hammer Trinkets and an Evil Presence in his hand. He is set to deal me at least 5 damage next turn if I can't come up with a way to change the board state or get some blockers out there. It's a close game. It's a fast game. These Druids play fast games. These Druids, especially Fire, plays fast. And I've tapped to play a Poison Well. One of my favorite cards in the game. This is going to deal him 1 damage for each nearby site, so I've dealt him 2 damage there, right to his life total. It's 14-7, and I've summoned Tawny. And Tawny came here to kill bats. She has cast Minor Explosion, dealing 3 damage to each unit at target location up to 2 steps away. In a lot of ways, that card is the mascot of my deck. Crazy good value. So I've eliminated the Palaberry Bats. Now I know the best he can do maybe is to put 2 Taurus Hammer Trinkets on Tawny and attack forward with her. And he puts one Taurus Hammer Trinket on Tawny, dealing me 2 damage. I see, and that's because he needed 5 mana to play a Dapero Vampire. These ladies are bad news. Would not recommend letting them live for very long. Their strikes heal your opponent. Well, their strikes heal you. In this case, the opposing Dapero Vampire heals my opponent. And I don't want that, so I've played another desert there, a remote desert, to destroy his Tawny. I've stepped over with my Tawny, and I have played Cone of Flame. I just drew that card, and it could not have come at a better time. Deals 5 damage to his vampire, sends her to the cemetery, and 3 additional damage to his avatar. It is now 12-4. That is a big swing for me, eliminating a large threat. Brent responding by playing a Ruins, summoning Tawny, playing his Evil Presence again, back over top of my sights there. And he has to pass. I'll tell you folks, I only have 1 Cone of Flame in my deck. Drawing that right there was a little bit of a Christmas miracle. And on my turn, speaking of miracles, I believe I draw Rebix here. Yes, there he is. 5 for 4, but he is a giant with charge, and it's hard to plan for that. So I was able to play Rebix, step forward immediately and strike his sight for 4, taking him to death's door. I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm stepping forward with Tawny, trying to get the board state now in a place where I know that I can seal the win next turn. That's my hope. Bringing my Druid forward as well. And we have a flip. So Brent taps to flip his Druid, which summons Bruin, a large and fluffy beast. If there's one thing I know about a Druid, it's that it loves a large and fluffy beast, or maybe just a fluffy beast of any size. As we see Palaberry Bats come in, and Brent's not done. Brent's not done throwing punches. He puts 3 Taurus Hammer Trinkets, what are the odds, on his Tawny and attacks my sight for 4, passing it back over to me. And I gotta tell you, what's about to happen, I'm a little embarrassed about what I'm about to do, because I draw a Lava Flow here, and I think that's the ball game. And so does Brent. And so does everyone in the room. Everyone's clapping, everyone's congratulating me, but wait. There's our head judge, John Trotter, saying, "Hey bud, by the way, would you read that card?" Bruin takes all of that damage for the Avatar, even though it's area of effect. That Bruin takes all of that damage. This game's not over. We have zoomed out, and it was a really cool zoom out, but we've done it prematurely. We gotta zoom back in. Shout out to Brendan for the incredible recording of the game and the card overlays and the graphics. Another badass member of our community who does some cool stuff to make this game so much fun to play. He's got his magical camera zooming back in on the action as I backpedal. And I apologize profusely to Brent. In this moment, I am just doing so much saying of I'm sorry because I made a misplay. And Brent, being the incredible sportsman that he is, takes this in such stride and says, "Nah, man, I totally get it. Let's, if you want to repeat the play, because I think at this moment maybe I've got it in my hand. You tell me, chat. I've got an Infernal Legion, a Lava Flow, and a Minor Explosion. I've got Rebix on the board, and I've got Tawny. If you think I could have won this game on this turn, will you let me know how? Because I don't. I don't win the game on this turn. I step forward with Rebix and attempt to attack his Druid there. He blocks with the Palaberry Bats. My Druid steps forward, taking a damage from his Druid special ability, and now I cast Lava Flow, killing his Bruin, yes, but also killing my Rebix. I'm also out of mana. Tawny cannot step forward because she would take 1 damage from the Druid special proximity ability before her attack lands home. So I have to give Brent another turn. The drama. We're back in it. This game is not over. Brent draws for turn. He's got plenty of mana. He's got Evil Presence sitting over top of my side of the board and his Tawny, and he uses it. There's a Nimbus Djinn. Pays 6 for a 4-power airborne elite spirit that comes in with charge, attacks my Avatar for 4. Nothing I can do about it. Tawny can't block, and he discards his foil Taurus Hammer Trinket to deal me 3 more damage, taking me to Death's Door and stepping to the side. He hopes out of the way. If I was not holding that Minor Explosion, I would be really worried right now, but I am. And there it is. There is an actual victory. There's the applause. There's the zoom out, the handshake. And then I shake my hands out, and I reach immediately for my emotional support gummy bears. I have won the tournament. Sharing some words with our head judge there about how maybe I should read the cards. Thank you, Brent, for your grace. Thank you for being an incredible, formidable opponent. Thank you, Action City Comics. You see Eric there in the hat with the white on it, is the owner and proprietor of that shop. You see Brendan stepping in on your right there with the black hat on. He is your videographer and also an awesome sorcery player. Plays a pretty cool Wave Shaper deck. Next to him, John Trotter, our head judge, and then at the bottom of your screen, of course, Brent. To his left is Jack, who is a member of our community who just has an amazing head of hair. He's got this really cool, like, kind of gray rockabilly look. Man, I like his hair. Here comes the prizes. I should also mention Nick in the frame there wearing a Sorcery the Contested Realm, King of the Realm Cornerstone shirt. He played a Dragonlord deck in the tournament that was pretty rocking. He was proxying Ignis Rex. We had a match earlier and I barely pulled it out. And there's me at the top again, receiving a Dragonlord set, an Alpha Champion promo card in foil, and now a Cornerstone playmat, in addition to my signed Druid and my foil token pack and my t-shirt and booster packs of both Beta and AL. Amazing wealth of riches, and I could not be happier. I was really stressed. You can see I'm still taking big, deep breaths. Playing in these tournaments is really exhausting. It's kind of an athletic experience, but it's a fun one because it's a really cool game. Cannot recommend Sorcery the Contested Realm enough. Thanks again to Action City. Thanks again to the South Theater for hosting the event. And thank you for tuning in and checking it out as you watch the decks go back into the boxes, as you watch a little bit of friendly banter going on. Eric is, letting everyone know that he taught me everything he knows, because he did. He taught me the game just about 8 months prior to this moment, and there you have it. We have a lot of cool sorcery coming up in the world. We're about to experience the release of Gothic, which is the next big set in sorcery, and I think this game is going to continue to grow. I think it's really fun. It's balanced. It's a game for smart people. It's a game for people who are chill and love community and like to spend some time slinging some cardboard. I hope you're one of those people. I'm grateful that you've watched this far, and as I pose for one more picture there with my coveted Dragonlord and my Alpha Champion promo, I'll say goodbye.